All right, so today we're talking about various technique ideas when playing bass guitar, specifically maybe this 1972 Fender Telecaster bass. It has its own unique physical attributes and sonic attributes that make it not challenging, but just different. A little bit more unique approach might be needed to get the best out of this instrument. This is a 1972 Fender made in the USA Telecaster bass. It's not a P bass, not a J bass, it's a Tele bass. You see the headstock right there, got a gold font. So I've been featuring some vintage instruments on my channel, and I've been playing bass professionally for like 30 years or more now, and I've been all over the world. The bass has been in my hands most parts of my life, more than it's not. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. When I play this instrument, I visualize three kind of zones. Up here, the neck, using this as an anchor for a really fat, warm, like jazz organ B3 sound. The mid, over the pickup, where you're going to get your most, mid sounds, kind of like a precision bass, but not really, for a more aggressive attack. This, I just anchor. You can anchor where the thumb or where the pickup meets the body, but you have a little bit of real estate. I use the tip of my thumb if I'm going to use that. And then you have, of course, all this empty real estate where there could have been a pickup for a jazz bass, but it's just vacant on a Tele bass. I love it. So here, there's no, guys ask me, where do you anchor your thumb? I use the answer is the E and the A string. Because that allows you to mute the E and the A string when you're playing on the D and the G string, right? These two strings up here. You'll notice very quickly if you are properly muting your strings if you go into a recording studio. I learned this at a very young age. Once the sound engineer mutes everything else, the whole band except the bass, if you hear things like, whatever, like that resonance are the strings ringing. So you got to deaden those. And, so I use my thumb, I wedge it in between the two strings like so. So that's how I handle like the low end, which is more, or the bridge area, which is more staccato, more Jocko-like, like that. So let's talk about now these three zones specifically. So up here, if I'm playing jazz, like in a jazz trio or whatever, this is like, I'm not trying to emulate upright bass. I'm trying to emulate sonically a B3 organ. Listen to guys like Richard Groove Holmes, Jimmy Smith, guys like that. The late great Joey DeFrancesco. Those pedals on their foot pedals, the fat low end. This can kind of give you that. Really fat, warm, round notes, right? Dub, reggae. And when this thing goes to like a full, concert hall PA, or like even like a decent wedding band PA for like 500 people, it just blows it's so loud. The bass, it's like a bass generator. It's amazing what Leo Fender did with, two pieces of wood and a little bit of wiring and pickups. It's crazy. So that's the neck. I'm muting my, if I'm playing on the D and G, I'll mute. As you see, I lean into these are dead while I'm playing these top two strings. And then if I need to when I go down to the E and the A, that's when I pivot and I anchor my thumb onto the neck, that little corner right there. All right, zone 2, the pickup. This is just going to give you a little bit more mids, a little more brightness, a little more attack, right? So if you're playing like, you know, more punch, more attack. I'm anchoring right there in that little crease or that little corner of the pickup and the body, and then you use pivot and mute. You rake across and mute as you see fit, because if your thumb's up here, in my opinion, I've never used a thumb rest because your thumb's the smartest finger you've got and the strongest. Why certain guys don't use a play with use their thumb? I don't know why. It's just a smart, fast, finger. Use it, and it's a great mute, right? That's all in the D and the G string. I'm just muting the E and the A string the whole time. Otherwise, they'd be ringing, right? Just put your thumb in the middle, and that's your anchor, right? Get used to that. And remember, practice makes perfect. It won't feel good the first time, but if you do it again and again and again and again and again, it'll feel great. And I promise you, you'll love it. You'll probably get more gigs. And the last, so that's the mids, right? And that's the second zone over the pickup. And then down here near the bridge, you're gonna get a more staccato, Jocko-like tone. The strings are more taut, more tight, it feels like. There's gonna be less give, and you can do a little bit more, more staccato, percussive-like stuff. Now this bass is not a jazz bass, so it's going to have that unique tone up there or down here by the bridge. And you have to compensate with the volume because there's no pickup down here. So, but it's just, the nature of the beast of this 1972 Fender Telecaster bass. So I'm just going to play a song right now called Charlie Hayden. And I'll probably just be all over the place as far as where I'm, where I'm at on the instrument.